All right, I'm recording, so I want you to write down these 4 things. Now, of course, we've already went over the variance and the standard deviation, and you've already, done that, and we're going to go over that again today. I want you to write down the empirical rule. That's very important. We're going to start that today, and we're going to tie that in with the mean and the standard deviation. Now, your book, since y'all are not smart enough to pronounce empirical, they don't call it the empirical rule like 90% of your statistic books do. Your book calls it the 99.798 rule or something like that. Ignore it. It's the empirical rule. So if somebody wants to look it up in your book, go ahead and look it up so you can tell us what your book calls it. But I believe it's the 99.768 rule or something like that.
68, 95, 99.7.
Yeah, that's a whole lot easier to remember than the empirical rule.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's going to be on 90% of everything we do after this unit. So you better learn the empirical rule. And what I mean by better learn it, you better learn is 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5. And that's not correct. It's not, 2.4 and 2.4. Some books say 2.35. And outside of that is going to be 0.1. They didn't put 0.1 on the outside. You need to add that. The box plot, we're going to get into that after we finish the empirical rule. And then after we finish all of that, we're going to do z-scores. Now, we're probably talking about a test next week. So for some of you that run around in circles, confused, in a state of confusion, whenever a test is mentioned, you can go ahead and start running around in circles and start worrying about everything. I don't know why you're worrying, because you should have your homework already done up to, I don't know if this is 6B or 6C or whatever, but we'll worry about that next week. Also, I also covered the pretest in class, and I will tell you when that will happen. And then I will tell you what dates the homework cuts off and what dates the test cuts off after I go through the test with you. So there'll only be 1 or 2 people running around in circles worrying about the dates because they don't listen to what I say and they don't watch the video. So right now you should only be worried about chapter 5 and chapter 6, right, Miss Jeter?
Correct.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. So finish writing that down, and then we're going to go back to the Excel spreadsheet. And I'm going to go back to a problem we did the other day, and I'm going to show you how to use the stat crunch, or what is it called in your application?
Yes, stat crunch.
What's it called? Is it called stat crunch?
Yeah.
Stat crunch is what they first called the program when I was at Clemson, and I had my first statistics class I ever took in my whole life. Because back then, you had to do Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Pre-Cal before you graduated high school. And I'd taken all those, and I'd never seen probability and statistics. I didn't even know what it was. And now they watered down all the programs in high school, and now they offer it like, everything. So, and I had took my first 301, that statistics class, and that was in 1990. I want to say probably 92 or 93. I can't remember. But I remember the teacher. His name was Dr. Russell. And he brought in this cart. And it was, the library carts. Remember the library carts?
Yeah.
Well, he had this big old tabletop computer, like a Tandy 100. I mean, that thing was huge. And it was on the second shelf, and he had this big old TV monitor, and he had hooked that computer into the TV monitor somehow. And he brought that thing in. He said, I'm going to show y'all a computer program. And it was called StatCrunch. And I'll never forget that. He thought that was just great. And we were sitting there like, huh? And the computers were coming into the classroom at that point. And it was called StatCrunch. That's why I called it StatCrunch. So anyway, we're going to do that.
Hubert.
So, yes, ma'am.
Hey, let the students know too about, because we're going to be using this empirical rule, of course, a lot. So let them know to print the papers out. You know what I'm saying, like you did before, so we have to keep erasing and repeating. Remember?
Well, you're the only one that's going to do it.
No, if you tell them.
I mean, there may be one person here that might do it, and one person at Easley might do it, but the rest of them ain't going to do it. But I'll tell them. Anyway, what I would do if I was you, and since I don't want to teach today, I'm going to do it this way. Pull up your Google. You still using those, Miss Jeter?
Huh?
Are you still using those printouts?
Yeah, I have them right here.
Do you? Well, you need to hold them up so everybody can see them. Of course, nobody at Pendleton's going to do it, but, it's worth somebody else seeing it. All right, so I pull up my handy dandy. I'm going to pull up normal distribution with empirical rule. Pull that up and hit images.
Isn't the same thing?
Yeah, but
And then pick you out one that you like.
It will be quick.
Okay? Now, when I say pick you out one, close that door because my boy's coming all the way down to the. When you pick out one, make sure here's a good one right here. That's a good one. See the 0.15? Most of your statistics courses use the 0.15, 2.35. Again, this one's a good one. You can use this one. So what do you do with it? Well, you click on it, pick the one you like, and then save image as, and whatever you want to save it as. Then go to your handy dandy word processor. Now this takes a lot of work. I mean, you have to take about 3 or 4 minutes to do this. Okay, so go to layout, maybe if you want to, columns, make 2 columns, and then dang old paste or bring in insert, picture, and go to downloads. And you do this, you can copy and paste. And now I'm going to copy, now that I've got it, and then go down here. And now, of course, you make it however you want it, okay? Okay, everybody got that? And then you print out about 10 of these, or print out one, and then however you want to do it for the one person that's going to do it. So it's a very good way to do it, because from here on out, if you were in my 120, Mr. Poor was in my 120. Who else was in 120? You took 120. Miss Jeter, you're going to be drawing these things until you're sick of them. Okay? So that's it. I would suggest probably a black and white one, because the color may not print right. And, but all this stuff may get in the way. When we get into chapter 7, you may not want that one. You may want to pick out one that's a little bit bigger, that doesn't have the stuff on it, like this one. Or I'm trying to find one that just is a shell. There's one. One like that. Doesn't have all the one like this. You may want to print out different variations. There's one. But you need to learn the percentages. Okay, and make sure you learn the 0.15. There's another one. So that's something you need to learn. Now we're going to go over that here today on what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. And we're going to pick a problem. I think I picked the one that Miss Jeter sent. I want to go back to that one. And I think it's this one right here. Okay, now I showed you how to do, I don't know, did I show y'all how to use the calculator, right? I showed y'all how to do it?
Yes.
All right, now click on this, click on that little tab right there, open in StatCrunch. All right, now write this down. So most of you will use this on your test because StatCrunch is about the easiest way besides Excel. Now I could show you how to do Excel a whole lot easier, but I want you to learn how to use it and learn how to do the hand-by-hand formulas, so I'm not going to show you that. But this is the best way to do a test problem because all you got to hit is stat, summary statistic, column, hit East Coast, and compute. Pull that down. Go to stat, column, Midwest. There you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Therefore, now you could also go graph, and you could graph anything you want down through here. I don't see where you can do a normal distribution. I'm looking, but I don't see one. And you haven't done the 5-number summary. I'm wondering if you could do the 5-number summary. Oh, there it is, it's already there. Oops. Where'd it go? Did it go away? I guess it did. Where is it?
Go back down.
The whole separate tab.
Okay. So you can use the 5-number summary here. You got to find the mid-range. But there's still some questions that you're not going to be able to do this. You're going to have to actually do some calculating. Okay? So,
Are we gonna
go ahead. What was the question?
Are we gonna be able to do that on the test?
You should be able to. If not, you can use the Excel spreadsheet or your calculator. I'll see when I make the test out, I'll check it to see if you can use StatCrunch, or I'll enable it. I'll try to enable StatCrunch. I don't know if I can or not. But you are able to use your calculator and your Excel spreadsheet. The only reason I wouldn't use StatCrunch is because of some of y'all that are on the calculator drill team and y'all don't think. That's the only reason I wouldn't put it on there, because y'all would abuse this. You know, the ones that can't make change or spell mom backwards, those are the ones that I don't. You give somebody something like this as a resource, and what do? They abuse it, and they don't think for themselves, and that's why I wouldn't use it. That's why the only reason I wouldn't put it on a test. But hopefully y'all aren't on the calculator drill team and y'all can make change and spell mom backwards, or at least race car backwards. Miss Jeter, can you spell race car backwards? She's not going to try.
Hold on.
She's not going to try. Question on that.
It's a race car.
It's race car.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, so let's do another one. I want to do one that doesn't have two. I want to do one that doesn't have two. They got one that has just like 10 numbers. And of course you can't put this in the, I'm trying to find one. I tell you what, let me get out of this. And I'm going to go where I can find some questions that are worth it, because the teacher didn't pull the easiest questions out of the batch. Which section is this? Homework 6B?
6, yeah.
B, so I'm going to go to chapter 6B and go to study plan. Let me find some questions that are that I would put on the test.
exact same.
Well, so much for that idea. I thought for sure there'd be, I don't like to do two sets. I like to do one set. There we go. All right, I want you to take this question, and I want you to do it. I want you to do everything, just ignore the directions, okay? I want you to do everything you can do on a spreadsheet or calculator for these questions. Now, I can't blow it up because it's a question. I can't blow it up. All right, so you're going to have to, I tell you what I'll do. I'll go ahead and put it in an Excel spreadsheet so you can actually, I can make it bigger. So hold on. Because I do things like that for y'all.
Because you love us.
Yep, even though you don't communicate
Sometimes.
with me.
Yeah, who said sometimes? Mr. Poor, yeah, he's right, sometimes.
And my business calculus class yesterday, I was supposed to review the test, so I forgot about that, and I went on into the next section. Do you think any of them said anything?
No.
They didn't say a word. So I'm not going to go over the review test. If they can't say anything, then that's what you get for not communicating. People get me how they just sit through a class and they don't say a word. They just sit in the class. I just don't understand it. I guess I'm just not used to conditioning my students to not speak. I just can't do that. All right, so I want y'all to do everything. Go ahead and do that. Got to put them in order first. That's the first thing.
Can you do that for us?
Yes, ma'am. Anything else, Diva?
No, I think that'd be all for now. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Is that all the numbers, or is there another one or two
No,
below
that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to. This is a type question. Now, I may give you the question that Miss Jeter sent. That question we just had up there with the two sets. But if I give you that question, I'm going to let you either do it by Excel spreadsheet or whatever. But I usually don't like to put two sets on there unless I just ask you one question, and that is, which is the better data? That's the question I would ask. And that's the one that has the smaller standard deviation. Okay, I'm gonna put them in order.
Thank you. Okay.
There you go, Diva.
Thank you.
I'd hate for you to have to work.
I mean, it is what it is.
So take your handy dandy calculator and punch those in to your column A. If you're using your laptop, use whatever. Hopefully you've got Excel or some kind of spreadsheet on your Apple. You have to pay for it probably. No, you don't?
No.
I didn't know. Whenever you need to use a letter, I didn't know if you have to pay for it.
That's EA.
Okay. I didn't know. I figured y'all had to pay for something. Let's see, I'm going to highlight these guys, and I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. And make these a little bit smaller. So here we go. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. Would you be surprised that people actually failed Math 120? I could not believe. I had one teacher last semester, or one student tell me last semester they failed Math 120. And I'm like, really? I said, how many people actually made it through the class? They said like 7 out of 30. And I'm like, Who the heck makes Math 120 that difficult? Anybody ever been in math? Well, I'm not going to ask you, but it's not your fault. Math 120 should not even be. I mean, the highest grade, the lowest grade you should be able to make in Math 120 is a C, because it's not that difficult. But some people make it difficult. It inflates their ego, and just like sunglasses inside inflates their ego, I guess.
Didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, mine didn't.
All right, so summation. How many numbers we got? Somebody count them. Is it 12?
Oh.
Divided by 12. I get a 91. Is that what y'all got?
Yeah.
Okay, now we got 12, so I got to take the middle two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Gotta take 92.
Take the
and
middle
94.
two. I'm gonna highlight those. I'm gonna highlight this one. I got to find the average of those two. Equals parentheses
93.
this guy plus this guy divided by 2. There's that number. I'm gonna highlight these green because they are measures of center, just like this one is measures of center. Mode I really don't care about, but it is, somebody tell me, 91?
98.
No, 98. 98 is the most. And it's red because that's the only one you don't calculate. Range is equal to the highest minus the lowest.
Correct.
And you feel good about yourself. Mid-range is equal to the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. How did I do that? Did it work? Okay. And variance, that's where we need to start. So I'm going to do x minus x bar. X minus x bar. So equals this guy minus this guy. And if you're using the Excel spreadsheet, when you highlight that mean, you got to hit Fox 4, F4, to lock that 91. Because if you copy this down, I'll show you what it does.
You have to hit what?
F4, Fox 4. If you don't hit it and you copy it down, it's not going to copy that 91. The next one's going to copy what? 93. The next one's going to copy 98. And then you're going to get errors down here because you're dividing by 0. So let's see what happens. See?
Oh.
See?
No error.
Messes it up. So what you do is you hit F4. And now you copy it down. And you feel good about yourself. Question, gripe, complaint. Okay, now what do you do with x minus x bar? Somebody look at the formula. What do you do to it?
Square it.
Square it. Golly, they're actually reading. So I'm going to take this number and I'm going to raise it shift 6, 2. And copy that down. And now what does the formula say? What do we do to x minus x bar squared? Look at the formula.
Divide n minus 1.
The big funky E. What does the big funky E mean?
Add them all together.
Add them all together. Good job. So I take my handy dandy summation. See, there's the funky E right there. That's capital sigma. And that is your numerator for your variable. So now I'm going to take that numerator and divide by, I'll do the denominator for y'all, 11. And then what is the relationship between the standard deviation and the variance?
It's a square.
Square root, exactly. So I'm going to raise this to the 1/2 power, or 0.5 power. That's the same thing as the square root. And there is your standard deviation. Now I'm also going to do the 5-number summary, since we've already covered that. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put 5-number summary. And that's going to be min, max, first, second, third, and I'll do the min and the max for y'all.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll even do the median for you.
Hey, go above and beyond.
I tell you what. There you go. So where is the median? Somebody tell me where it is. I'll take my handy dandy blue marker and put it where it is. Where is the median? It's right there. So how many numbers are above that blue dot?
5.
5.
And how do you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Yeah.
So how do you find the median of 6 numbers?
You got to take the first
2 middle ones. So I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter, and I'm going to highlight these 2 right here. Dang old salmon. And I'm going to go over here, and that's going to be salmon. And that's going to be equal to, parentheses, this guy plus this guy divided by 2. Y'all in here the other day when that woman was taking pictures?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I didn't know what she was in here for. I found out
She took a picture of you?
that she was taking pictures of me teaching.
You going to be teacher of the year?
No, I already got that. I won that this last year. I got the presidential medallion. Dang old presidential medallion. Dang old.
They knew what they was doing.
Anyway, dang old. I couldn't figure out why she was taking my pictures, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, "I can't tell you." So anyway, they put me up for the state award. So that's why she was taking pictures. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of happy about that. Since I teach at a T-Rex college, I'm kind of happy about that.
Does that mean a pay raise?
Probably not. No, not at T-Rex college. But it'll piss some people off, and that's worthwhile. When you piss people off, y'all find that out if you haven't already.
Bless you.
No sneezing in class.
No blessing people in class.
Yeah, don't do that. All right, there you go. Oh, let me also do the min and the max in case y'all. There's gray, so we'll color that gray, and we'll color this one dang old. I don't have a green in there. Let me use a hunter green. Oops, that's the wrong thing.
I do that
My bad.
all the time.
I suck.
You should call in a corner.
There we go. All right, now I want you to draw a box plot. Oh yeah, remember you got to have the mid-range. Mid-range is over here. Draw you out a number line. And then after we do that, we're going to draw our curve, our bell curve, and put in standard deviation. And then, by golly, you should be able to do 6A and 6B after that. Or 6A, 6C, whatever the heck we're supposed to be doing right now. Now remember, you got to graduate your number line. Don't forget. After you plot the min and the mid-range and the max, you've got to graduate your number line. And we did that the other day. Now, I couldn't remember. The reason I brought that up was when she was in here taking my pictures, or taking pictures of the class, of course, the students were like freaking out. Okay? So after she left, the students were all like, what the hell is she in here for? And I didn't know if that was y'all or not. I couldn't remember when she came in here. So it must have been on Tuesday, Thursday class. I mean, what day is this?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it must have been Tuesday, Thursday class that she came in. Yeah, they're gonna the winner of the state award gets, you know, a 2 or 3 week vacation in Sandals Resort and at least $5,000 or $6,000. And no, that ain't what happens. You just piss people off that don't like.
Pencil? Do you
What?
get a pencil that does a good job?
Yeah, I get a poster. I get free poster board for the next year, so I can make posters for my class.
Do you get a sticker for it too? Like a
Probably
little
do.
star sticker?
Yeah, I probably do, and they probably give me a sticker on each one of the poster boards, like you got back in the 3rd grade for your science project. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. The sarcasm is just overwhelming. All right, so here we go. Here's my number line. And my min, I'll do the min and the max and mid-range for you. 62, 98, and the mid-range is 80. That takes care of that, takes care of that, takes care of that. So, 62 plus 80 is 142. 71, somebody check my math. 80 plus 100 is 180. 180 be 88. Somebody check me. What's the midpoint? I said 88. Somebody check me. What is it?
89.
Is it 89? Okay. 62 to 71. What's that? 9, half of 9 is 4.5, so that'll be what?
66.5.
Now, you notice I don't care about the decimals. Do you care about the decimals when you're plotting a box plot? No. You don't really care about that. Nobody sees the number line anyway. Okay? You're just using it to orient where the box plot goes. So the decimals really don't matter. 71 to 80 is 9. Half of 9 is 4. So that's what? 75?
Sure.
85, 84, 85. If you want to use 85, that's fine. 89, what's plus 5 is what?
94.
Thank you, 94. And there's your number line. So now I'm going to take my handy dandy coral, or not coral, salmon. I don't say salmon. I don't say salmon. That's one thing I don't say. I don't like to say that word. I say salmon. All right. So I'm going to take my handy dandy salmon. I don't have a salmon color, so I'll just use this orange. Okay. So that one, 91. 91, 91, okay, 91's about right in there. Okay, now I'm going to take my blue, 97. 97 is going to be right in there. Now I take my green, or not my green, my yellow, 93. And I draw my box. Now you can use any color you want to draw your box, but there it is. And it looks like to me, we've got a skewed what?
Right.
Right.
Skewed left. All the data is on the right.
Oh. I get it backwards.
Okay, is everybody through? I got it done. Okay. Everybody done? I guess we're going to communicate. That's what I hear me
Why the heck are you whispering?
now. Miss Cheater, 24 hours later. Why are they whispering? All right, so now we're going to do the normal curve, how the data is set up. So this is what the data is telling us. Data is telling us that we got numbers a little bit on the heavy side. And if you look, if you say 95 is in the middle, you see that 98, those three 98s are pulling everything to the what? To the right of center, those three 98s are. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only thing that you got to counterbalance those three 98s is that 62, because 88, 90, and 91, they're all close together. Now, if you put that 62, if you make that 62 an 87, then you will be really right heavy, because the 62 is the only thing that's pulling that hump on the right side back that way a little bit. Y'all see what I'm saying? So if you do away with that 62, it's going to throw that curve even more to the right.
When you have
So
to
I'm
make a
going to
new
erase
curve,
this. So, and now we're going to draw the normal curve. The normal curve, the mean is in the middle, 91. And then we're going to add 3 standard deviations. Now you go ahead and start adding and subtracting. I'm going to fill mine out. Is it 13.5? I think it is. 34, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15. Okay, 91, and my standard deviation, I'm going to say is 10. Okay, I'm going to say my standard deviation is 10 because I don't want to have to do the decimals. On a test or homework, you do the decimals. So 91 plus 10 is 101, 111, 121. 91 minus 10 is 81, 71, and 61. So any other time I pull these intervals, how many are going to fall between 71 and 111? Well, that's what my daughter would say when she was little, normal. 2 standard deviations is normal.
Normal.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
So write down normal. 95% is going to fall between 2 standard deviations. 95%, if you add those percentages up, 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5, it's 95%. Or not unusual.
thanks for the clarification. I was a little confused there.
Well, you have to say not unusual because some of your homework questions will actually say, is this not unusual? Okay, why do they do that?
Hey.
I don't know. Elevator music is on. We'll finish this and then this, if this is not unusual, then somebody tell me what this area is.
Outliers?
Nope.
Unusual.
Unusual. So put a big blue U right there. That's for unusual. And then as Miss Jeter said, what is the outside area, Miss Jeter?
The outliers?
Outliers. That's your Michael Jordans, you dang old Tiger Woods, you dang old 6-foot second grader. Okay? That's your people that just go far beyond. That's your outlier. So if you're outside, so if I'm waiting 50 minutes, then that's an outlier. If I wait in line 125 minutes, that's an outlier. God bless. Okay? So, right now, I don't know what 6A and 6C, what does this say in outline? 6A and 6C and 6E or what? How many sections?
60 and 60.
I'm sorry? How many sections in 6 do we cover?
3. We got 3.
Okay, so this is
A, B, and
probably
C.
6A and 6C. I've covered 6A and 6C. The only thing left is Z-scores, but we're going to cover another couple of problems because I want to show you how to do all this on the, or well, I've already showed you how to do all of it because you have to do the box plot and the normal curve. You need to do that by hand. Okay? All right, let me cut off the handy dandy recorder.